Hey, hey, hey! I don't know what is happening, guys. I just like take off one stream just to see if it's going to work. So let's cross our finger that we will be able to finish the podcast with you this time, guys. Okay. So I've just started the section that I was talking about, which is family dinner. I just told you that yes, we have like busy life, especially in our time where kids have many activities, parents, like both parents work. It is so important to have one meal, all the family together, and it can only be one, and that will be perfect. Okay, so what it is important here, the main element is to commit. Okay, as a family, to have at least one real family dinner a week. Okay, one that is slow, is unrushed, and where everyone is present. So the goal, okay, is not the nutrition, okay, but here throughout like the dinner, it's all about connection. It's about letting, especially the kids, okay, having a moment where they can express themselves, but also where they can share an experience, okay? So the way that you can do it is just like do what we call like a round of table, okay, where everybody is sharing something that happened throughout the week. Let's say that you make them share something that they are proud of, okay, that they are really happy about, but also a challenge that they have. But here, what is really important, especially for us as adults, because we have developed, that critical thinking. What is important for the parents is to not get into a sermons, not like to be condescending, not to use that moment to do a lesson for the kid. It's just a way where they can exchange. And if they want to talk about their challenge, it's their way of expressing themselves, and only support them if they want it. Okay. And this is a challenge for most parents to resist, okay, that urge, okay, to advise, okay, and to become, okay, in a way, authority. Remember, a way to build self-esteem is not to do everything for them, but is to let them, okay, be. Remember, when they understand that they have a place, okay, in the family, in their environment, in the world, this is, okay, the important factor that will help them develop self-esteem. And if you let them express themselves without sermoning them, without making everything about a lesson, they will feel loved and respected. So a way that you can actually do it, okay, is also with what they call a sacred screenless dinner. Okay, we all know that our phone, the technology, has taken a huge place in our life. But what is important is during that dinner, okay, even if it's only one during the week that you're having all the family together, that it is a screen-free zone, okay, without exception. The parents, the teenager, the kids, even like the television should be turned off. Okay, because if you don't do that, like some of the people won't be fully getting their attention, and this is what we want. We want to make feel everybody, every member of the family seen. Okay, so be sure that you take off the screen, that you let them maybe like in your room, in your bedroom, or like you put them on the counter, okay, but not with you at the table. So obviously what will happen is the discussion, okay, will take place easily. And just so you know, there is already some result that got from school, because since the beginning of the school year in 20 September 2025, there is no cell phone allowed in school, and they say that the climate has completely changed. Okay, and the attitude and the way that the kids interact with themselves has completely changed in school. So if it happens in a place where all of those kids are there, obviously it will happen also at a dinner with the family. So understand the importance of having that one dinner to have a discussion, let them express themselves about what they are challenged about, what they think about, what are their dreams, what are their the things that they want to work on, what they are proud of. So obviously it will become a moment that everybody is appreciating throughout the week. Then, the third element that I want to cover with you today is what the author called child abuse. But here, we're not talking about like physical, sexual abuse, okay? Obviously, those are catastrophic, okay? And we are not psychologists, we're not like psychotherapists, Sylvain and I. So, this is not something that we want to dive in. But the way that the author Nathaniel Branden express, okay, his thought about that chapter is to understand that sometimes parents are using some mechanism, okay, or adults are using some mechanism that can destroy self-esteem. And it's not about the physical abuse or even like sexual abuse, but it's more like the way that they are acting with their kids. Let me just give you like some example, okay? Like when you transmit to a child that he is not enough. Okay, so if all the times, okay, you say to them, okay, I will do it for yourself, okay, just go away. You're such like a nuisance, okay, so please, okay, don't do that with your kids. Or if you see something, okay, understand how they are affected. If you reprimand, okay, a child for expressing unacceptable feeling, so like we often hear, okay, about boys, okay, boys should not cry, okay, so this has impact later in life, okay, because he felt that like his emotions are not valid. If a kid is ridiculous or even humiliated, if a kid's like when a parent show, okay, that their thoughts or feeling have no value, okay, when like they try to control it through shame or guilt, okay, always using like, if you don't do that, I will cut your phone. If you don't do that, I will do that. If you don't, like, it's all about controlling. Parents that are overprotective, okay, that don't let their kids develop their autonomy. But on the other side, okay, on the contrary, parents that underprotect their child, okay, that don't establish boundaries, okay. So yes, they are the extreme. We want to be in like that middle place, in that gray zone, just to be sure that we are not affecting the development of like our kids, of the children. Establish either like no rule or contradictory oppression rule, which means that it's always no, they can't do anything, or they have all the permission in the world. As we seen in the previous element, it's important to give like boundaries to children. Okay, when the parents deny perception of reality for kids, okay, causing the kids to always have that on his mind, okay, well, you say, well, it's not true, you should not see it this way, okay, like, I don't know why you're seeing it this way, it's not true. So when you always deny it, the kids feel that he's living in a different reality. If parents terrorize kid, okay, with violence or even like with threat, okay, or teaching him that he is sinful or even unworthy. So as you can see, okay, as you can hear in like those elements, those can impact a lot how a kid will see himself and how actually he will develop and sustain his self-esteem throughout his life. So what is really important is to understand that sometimes as parent, okay, yes, you can lose your mind, okay, like you can sometimes scream, or you can like become impatient, something happened at work, or you didn't sleep well, and it feels like you are transferring like that anger like to your kids. But it is not the case, okay, but the way that you will react after a reaction like that is really what is important. So let's say that you scream, or like you say to some of your kids, oh my god, okay, I don't know what you did that, or they spill the milk, okay, just like something that is not very important. Okay, what you need to do is to get back to like your children and say, okay, I'm sorry, earlier I screamed at you. Okay, it's not because I don't love you, it's because I was like impatient, I didn't sleep well, and like I was feeling angry. Okay, I love you, I'm not angry. Okay, I just want you to understand that things like that happen. So that interaction is really what will make the difference, just to be sure that the kids doesn't feel that he is in fault, but it is actually the situation and the emotion that had impacted the event. So that is a way, this is kind of a reality checker, okay, just to be sure that the kids understand, okay, it's not because of me, but it's because of a situation, it's because of external factor that influence that situation. So those were the two elements that I hadn't time to cover yesterday. So Sylvain, I want to bring back you to screen and let you finish with the last two elements for our chapter.
Yes, so we're gonna finish that chapter about nurturing the children. So now I'm going to talk about strategic development and parenting as a vehicle of personal evolution, personal development. So I decide, okay, I'm gonna tell you a story. You know how I love to tell story. It's an ordinary story, but it explains how. A child can have strategic detachment from their parent. Okay, so the story is Matthew grew up in a decent family. Okay, not abusive, not dysfunctional in any dramatic way. His parents work hard. They love him. They want him to do it right and to do the right thing. But there was something difficult to understand as a child. At home, the rule often changed. One evening, Mark could laugh at the table. The next day, for the same exact behavior, he was told, "This is not the moment. Okay, we are not laughing at the table." Okay. One day, his independence was encouraged. The next day, he was told, "Okay, no, I'm gonna do it. Let me handle it." So when he asked why, the answer was because this is how it is. Okay? Nothing extreme, nothing clear either. So what happened inside the child? So imagine a many situation like that, not just one day, okay, but many days like that. So Mark is an intelligent child. He tried to understand, he observed, he compare, he searched for logic, but the more he tried to understand the rule, the more confused he felt. So without putting words to it, something begins to take shape inside him. He didn't think my parents are wrong. Instead, he thought, I don't understand. But maybe this is not the whole reality. And this is when the author talk about strategic detachment. So he explained that some children, when the words around them become incoherent, they do something very healthy. They don't reject reality, they detach strategically. So for Mark, he is going to tell him internally, one day I will understand better. One day the rules will make sense. I'm not crazy. And he continued to learn at school. He loved reading. He loved his parents. He observed his family. And he said, there is more to life than what I see here. So Mark was protecting his consciousness. He refused to conclude the world makes no sense. He doesn't say I am incapable of understanding life. He just detached himself and he's giving him time. So, what is the cost of that? Okay, so this detachment came with a cost, of course. Mark sometimes felt lonely, he felt different. He didn't talk much about what he felt, but he avoided something more damaging, losing trust in his ability to understand reality. So, continuing to search for meaning even when the environment does not provide it It's called the heroism of consciousness. Okay, so he tried to understand, but right now doesn't understand. That doesn't make sense. So one day maybe it's gonna make sense. So as he grew up, and now he become a parent, and something strange happened because he catch himself repeating the same pattern of his parent. Sometimes he say some reaction, he see some impatience, and he say, "Oh my God, like my parents, I am reproducing the same." So he decide, no, you know what? I'm doing the same thing that I didn't understand when I was a child. So he decide to evolve. Okay, so he decide, okay, raising a child, it's a unique opportunity to grow. Okay, so he decide, okay, I'm not going to do like my parents. Okay, I'm going to explain what it's happening. So if he say no, he's going to explain why he say no. If he say if he doesn't do well, okay, maybe he mix it was not a good situation. Okay, so he's going to make, let's uh, say, excuse me, okay, I take a bad decision, okay, this is my mistakes, I apologize. So as you see, he's going to be more conscious. Okay, he's going to be like a parent is going to explain, and is going to make sure that he is growing right now. Okay, so he he become more coherent as a parent. So he's going to respect himself more because he is, let's say, he's angry. So he's going to explain why that situation make him angry. Okay, so he's going to apologize and continue. So this is how we this is the better way to raise a kid. Okay, explain the decision, explain sometimes you you don't do well, okay, in situation, so you can apologize, and you show the kids that you make mistake, okay, and you can correct your mistake. So when we help a child develop their self-esteem, we also strengthen our own self-esteem. So this is the good when you act as a parent. So this story reminds us of something essential. Children don't need perfect adult, but they need coherent, not Korean, coherent adults. And sometimes the children who learn to detach intelligently become adult capable of creating a healthier environment than the one they grew up in. Because consciousness, when protected, always find a way to grow. So that was our way to explain parental detachment, and of course when you become a parent, so how you can act differently. So next week we are going to cover at school, how the school influence our self-esteem. So I am very excited to start next week. So bye everyone, we're going to see you next Monday.